Good morning and welcome to New Hanover County Schools, the morning show. I'm Britton Kilborn.
And I'm Sierra Demmermuth. This is the week of November 10th through November 16th, and today's show is truly dynamite.
That's right. Along with our wonderful features and segments, today is our special dinosaur edition.
Since learning about dinosaurs as a kid, they have been interesting and fascinating to most of us, not only occupying a time in our past, but also a place in our imagination.
In addition to our dinosaur highlights, our show also features a career technical education highlight. This month, we take a look at the health science program and all that it has to offer.
And juniors and seniors preparing for college need to pay extra attention today during our College Bound segment. We'll go over 3 scholarships now accepting applications, so have your pen and paper ready.
We also have our morning show feature on inventors. Each month, a different inventor is spotlighted as well as their invention, and today we have a really good one.
We have a packed show, but for now, it's time to swing over to the news desk and our news anchor, July Alexander. She is standing by with our first look at your school news headlines. Good morning, July.
Good morning, Britton and Sierra, and welcome everyone to your school news here on the morning show. Topping the headlines this week, Rockme receives grant from Duke Energy, Miss Universe visits Holly Tree Elementary, and Forest Hill students sing about the fall season. I will have all these stories and more coming up later in the show.
Thanks, July. We get our things going today with the staple here on the morning show, with the segment we can call This Week in History. Our Grand Master of Historical Knowledge has all the headlines from past times in This Week in History, brought to you by Kidsville News.
Welcome to This Week in History. I'm your historical host, Jacob Treemstra, covering all the colorful and amazing events that have left their mark on history's timeline. This is the week of November 10th through November 16th. November 10th, 2001. In wake of the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks on the World Trade Center and the Pentagon, President George W. Bush addresses the United Nations to ask for the international community's help in combating terrorism around the world. He also pledged to take the fight against terrorism to any place where terrorists were harbored. November 11, 1933. A powerful windstorm stripped the topsoil from farmlands in South Dakota, one of a series of disastrous windstorms that year. The drought-ridden land of the southern plains became known as the Dust Bowl. It was useless to farmers and only exacerbated the economic problems of the Great Depression. Within 2 days, dust from the South Dakota storm had reached New York. November 12, 1954. Ellis Island, the gateway to America, shuts its doors after processing more than 12 million immigrants since opening in 1892. Today, an estimated 40% of all Americans can trace their roots through Ellis Island, located in New York Harbor. November 13, 1970. An immense tidal wave and storm surge caused by a powerful cyclone kills over 200,000 people in East Pakistan, now known as Bangladesh. The delta area by the Bay of Bengal was particularly vulnerable to this type of storm. In fact, this was at least the 3rd disaster in the region to kill 200,000 people. November 14, 1851. A novel by Herman Melville about the voyage of the whaling ship Pequod is published by Harper & Brothers in New York. Moby Dick is now considered a great classic of American literature and contains one of the most famous opening lines in fiction, "Call me Ishmael." Initially, though, the book about Captain Ahab and his quest for a giant white whale was a flop. Finally, your weekend history tidbits. November 15th, 1864. Union General William T. Sherman begins his expedition across Georgia. by torching the industrial section of Atlanta and pulling away from his supply lines. For the next 6 weeks, Sherman's army destroyed most of the state before capturing the Confederate seaport of Savannah, Georgia. November 16, 1973, President Richard Nixon declares that America's energy requirements have outpaced its production capacity and urges Congress to pass Senate Bill 1081, which would authorize the construction of a pipeline to access oil from the North Slope of Alaska. That's This Week in History, your ultimate source for those key moments in time. I'm Jacob Treemstra. Thanks for stopping by.
This Week in History is brought to you by Kinsville News, a fun and effective learning resource for children, teachers, and parents. It features school news, information, and local community events while promoting literacy and the development of good reading habits, character traits, and study skills in young children. And Kinsville News is always free. Copies are delivered every month to every elementary school in New Hanover County school system.
And join us again next time for another journey through time as we explore the fun, fascinating, entertaining, and educational facts that make up This Week in History.
Now don't go away, we'll be right back.
You want to go through the first loop, down on the right side. So often you see negative purposes for needles, but a needle is the key element in sewing. It's what makes the garment beautiful. You see a lot of drug abuse just walking down the street. It makes me really just look for something else to do, to stay as far away from that as possible. You get a high from doing something positive that lasts. For me, it's sewing, and my fashion show and people wearing my clothes, that's my high.
What state am I?
I'm the largest state east of the Mississippi River. My nickname is the Peach State. The 1996 Summer Olympics were held here. Do you know who I am? If you guessed Georgia, you're right. I received statehood in 1788.
This United States factoid has been brought to you by New Hanover County Schools on the Learning Network of the Cape Fear.
Welcome back to the morning show. I'm Britton Kilborn.
And I'm Sierra Dummermuth. Dinosaurs have taken center stage today here in the morning show.
Let's get started with some dino facts. In fact, let's start at the beginning. The first dinosaur to be formally named was the Megalosaurus. It was named in 1824 by William Buckland, which was before dinosaurs became the group name. Megalosaurs mean great lizard.
A person who studies dinosaurs is known as a paleontologist, which means they study prehistoric life by studying fossils.
Dinosaurs lived during the Mesozoic era, which is often referred to as the Age of Dinosaurs. The era ended 65 million years ago.
At present, over 700 different species of dinosaurs have been identified and named. However, paleontologists believe that there are many more new and different dinosaur species still yet to be discovered.
Which is exciting because students who want to be paleontologists will have the chance to find and name a new dinosaur.
This is exciting. We hope you enjoy those facts. Now we have a brief segment on the top myths surrounding dinosaurs.
There are many myths about dinosaurs. Some are fun and some are very misleading. Here are 5 leading myths about dinosaurs and the facts to set them straight. The first and probably most believed myth is that an asteroid impact alone killed all the dinosaurs in a few years. This is one of many theories and not a fact. One of the latest theories developing was that a combination of events actually led to the demise of the dinosaurs. This included volcanoes, environmental changes, falling sea levels combined with an asteroid impact. In addition, these changes slowly killed off the dinosaurs over 200,000 years. Not in a few years. Another popular myth is that all dinosaurs had green, scaly skin. There's something about a bright colored or feathered dinosaur that doesn't seem quite right to modern eyes. After all, contemporary reptiles are green and scaly, and that's the way dinosaurs are always portrayed by Hollywood. The fact is, though, that even scaly-skinned dinosaurs probably sported bright colors like red or orange, and scientists are certain that most theropods were covered with feathers at some stage of their life cycles. Our next myth, all dinosaurs were huge and menacing. This widespread myth is easily explained. People, and especially kids, are fascinated with enormous creatures, with the result that dinosaurs like Argentosaurus and Spinosaurus have garnered a disproportionate share of attention. However, most dinosaurs were fairly small, in the 5 to 100 pound range, making the huge behemoths the exception rather than the rule. Next up, dinosaurs have left no living descendants is a myth that is slowly fading. Today we have ample physical evidence pointing to the fact that modern birds evolved from dinosaurs. If you want to impress your friends, you can even make the case that ostriches, chickens, pigeons, and sparrows are more closely related to the dinosaurs than they are any reptile or lizard alive today. Our final myth. Dinosaurs and humans have lived at the same time. This is also known as the Flintstones fallacy. Granted, this misconception is less widespread than it used to be. Even today, kids' cartoons routinely portray cavemen and Tyrannosaurus rex living side by side. People unfamiliar with the concept of deep time don't appreciate the 65 million year gulf between the last dinosaurs and the first human beings. Now you know the facts instead of the fiction about these dinosaur myths. Feel free to spread the knowledge and impress your friends.
There you have the real dinosaur facts.
Now let's send it over to the news desk for more Your School News with July Alexander.
Good morning and welcome to Your School News on the Morning Show. I'm July Alexander. Our top story this week, it was a big day for the New Hanover County Rock Me program when representatives from Duke Energy presented the STEM program with a grant. We get this report from Luke Williams.
Rock-A-Me is a nonprofit organization which provides and supports a program where a diverse group of students can obtain training and knowledge for college within the different areas of an engineering career path. Several county middle and high schools have Rock-A-Me Club, where students with an interest in engineering participate in activities which will foster their interests as well as prepare them for an annual jamboree competition.
Well, it made me feel as if that I'm already, as you would say, experienced. It has taught me, like, as a sense of what I need or how it takes to get to college and how important it is, or what the steps it takes to get to college and what I need to know so, like, I won't have any problems with it.
And we talk about the opportunities that we have, like for colleges and different college opportunities they will be able to have, and we try to get them like into scholarships, stuff like that. We try to get to know the students on a personal level so that way we can work with them better.
The Rock-A-Me organization was recently awarded an $8,000 grant from the Duke Energy Foundation based on their education investment priority for STEM and early childhood literacy. A presentation was held in the Laney High School Media Center where representatives from Duke Energy presented the check to Rock-A-Me President Tony Carter. Members of the Laney Rock-A-Me Club were on hand along with Mr. Brown, Laney's Rock-A-Me advisor, and Dr. LaShawn Smith, Assistant Superintendent for Instruction and Academic Accountability.
The grant that we received from Duke Energy, we're very happy to receive it. The funding itself would be used to provide more opportunities for students to introduce them earlier to the fields of engineering, science, technology, and mathematics. Hopefully we can provide a few more college trips to introduce them to universities, and the ultimate goal is to get them into post-secondary education.
The grant will assist with Rock-A-Me Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math Initiative for students in New Hanover County, as well as the surrounding areas. In addition, each year, Rock-A-Me awards scholarships to student participants to help them further their education. Reporting for Your School News, this is Luke Williams.
It was a big surprise for the students of Holly Tree Elementary when Miss Universe, Sabrina Pinion, visited their school. She spoke with the students about bullying awareness and how to surround yourself with the people that will help you fulfill your full potential in life. Her message was an appropriate part of the school's celebration of bullying awareness. A native of Wilmington, North Carolina, Sabrina, has called Georgia home for over 20 years, where she resides with her husband Christian and their family of fur babies. Sabrina has the multifaceted career which includes modeling, pageantry, dance, and fitness. As a professional model, she has had the unique opportunity to live and work in many countries, including Japan, France, Belgium, Canada, Central America, and the Caribbean. Ms. Pinion told the students that everything they experience, every hardship and ordeal, is a part of a master plan and intended to teach you something or to lead you somewhere. As hard as today, maybe it will end, and there will be a tomorrow to look forward to. You just need the foresight and faith to see it. Castle Hayne and Pine Valley Elementary Schools are among the 78 North Carolina schools honored by the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction as a Title I reward schools for the 2014-2015 school year.
We challenge every child one by one, and then we celebrate their growth. And when I look at things, I really think about the small groups. We do lots of small group instruction. We focus on the individual student. We do a lot of sitting down looking at their test data weekly, monthly, and then we move them around in small groups to be sure they're getting what they need.
The schools were selected based on the assessment data from the 2012-2013 to the 2013-2014 school year. A reward school as the Title I school that is a highest performing school, which is a school among the top 10% of Title I schools in the state that have the highest absolute performance over a number of years for all students, group and for all subgroups of the statewide assessments. Or a high process school, which is the school among 10% of Title I schools in the state that are making the most progress in improving the performance of all students group over a number of years on a statewide assessments. For all the latest on New Hanover County Schools, join us weekdays at 5:30 p.m. here on Time Warner Cable Channel 5 and Charter Cable Channel 191 for your school news, a complete half hour of all the latest news and information from New Hanover County Schools. Now back to our hosts.
Thanks, July. The mission of career technical education is to help empower students for effective participation in an international economy as world-class workers and citizens. They have a wide range of programs offered to both middle school and high school students. Today we take an in-depth look at one of those programs. We travel to Laney High School and learn about the health science program.
The health science program here at Laney and throughout the county is geared towards students who are interested in pursuing a career in health care, either as a nurse, a doctor, dental hygiene, ultrasonography. I mean, there's so many options. At Laney, we have 3 levels: Health Science 1, Health Science 2, and Fundamentals of Nursing. Health Science 1 is targeted towards my 10th and 11th graders who think that might be the path they want to take, so they come into the class. We offer it for 2 blocks during the fall semester, and in that course I teach them an extensive list of medical terminology and abbreviations. I teach them about all of the body systems. We look at the structures, the functions, and then we also highlight some of the diseases and disorders. We talk about several of the professions that they might come across if they had some of those diseases and disorders. It's very fast-paced. There's lots of projects, hands-on projects, and you can see as you scan around the room, they've got some of their work on display where they, in the skeletal system, for instance, they have to make a human skeleton, which is going to help them learn the bones of the body. Then they come back in Health Science 2, and that's mostly for my 11th graders, and that's advanced studies. We talk about healthcare agencies, we talk about infection control, we talk about privacy issues, we talk about legal and ethical dilemmas. We explore more in detail maybe what their options are as far as their future career choice. They also get CPR and first aid certified in that class, and I also start introducing some of the skills that they might be working with when they get to the fundamentals class. We offer the Health Science 2 class once in the fall and once in the spring. And then the third level is called Fundamentals of Nursing, and that's for 10 seniors only, and we teach that once a year, and it's in the spring. It's double blocked, and that class is geared towards them earning their nurse aid certification. So the first part of the semester I teach them an extensive list of skill sets. I demonstrate it, and they get to practice until they become proficient with it. And then in the second part of this semester I take them to the nursing home where they actually do a 40-hour clinical internship where they're at the bedside and they actually get to put those skills to work on real people. At the end of the semester, after they earn their nurse aid certification, they can go right out and apply for a job. They can, a lot of the students will go to the long-term care area. Some of them will go with home health. Some of them can go to private doctor's offices and earn a job with that certification that they got as a senior in high school. Most of the students will either apply to a community college or to a university to pursue a career in nursing. I would say the majority of my students are interested in a field in nursing. Some of them do want to go on to become a doctor. Some of them are interested in going into dental hygiene school. Some of them are interested in going on to become an ultrasonographer. So it depends on what their ultimate goal is as to what program that they're going to try to become accepted to.
In Health Science 1, that was my starting point. That was what really got me interested in the career that I chose as a nurse. And I realized then when I was in Health Science 1 that if I wasn't committed or self-motivated, I didn't need to be in this career that I've chosen. And hearing stories from Ms. Thigpen, you really learn what the medical career is really like in the outside world.
Last year I took Health Science 1, and that was very challenging for me, but I was able to grasp what I wanted to do in the healthcare field. I'm still not positive, but Health Science 2 has helped me come closer to what I want to do.
Well, in Health Science 1, I'm really just introducing the human body to them. So it's a lot of information, and it's information that I learned when I was in nursing school. So it's kind of intense and can be difficult for a 10th and 11th grader to take on. So to make it a little bit more fun and a little bit more interesting, usually with each body system, I will assign a hands-on project that will help them better understand and retain that information. For example, for the skeleton system, there's an extensive list of bones that they have to learn, so they have to all make their own skeleton, and I give them a rubric that tells them what bones I want them to put on their skeleton. And then in Health Science 2, they have multiple little projects within, like today, they're going to be showcasing their shoebox projects where they all had to investigate a healthcare agency, and so they had to decorate a box that showcased that agency, and they had to have 5 things within that box, so that they're going to pull those little things out and they're going to tell the group about that particular agency and why they put those particular things in the box. They also have this one giant project called the Healthcare Professional Portfolio. They have the entire semester to work on it. It involves community service, it involves job shadowing, they have to create a resume, they have to have a healthcare project that they have to present and do within the community or within their school. They have to showcase all of their certifications. It's basically a portfolio that's going to show all of their hard work up until this point, working towards their ultimate goal as their future career choice.
If you would like to learn more about the Health Science program or any of the New Hanover County Schools CTE programs, visit the website www.nhcs.net/workforce or call their office at 254-4241.
Now don't go away. This rip-roaring edition of the morning show will continue right after this break. But before we go, we have our trivia question of the day. Today's show is all about dinosaurs. Everyone knows that dinosaurs ruled the earth. However, were they the first reptiles to do so? Our trivia question asks, were dinosaurs the first reptiles to rule the earth? Yes or no?
We'll have the answer when we return.
Takeout meals for just $12.99. Call them.
Sherry Pearson. You are the sole surviving heir of the King of Montanopolis, and you are now worth $45 million.
I'm rich! This can't be real.
Of course it's not real. Come on. Having money isn't about luck. Like that takeout meal. Cook at home instead, you can save thousands a year. Feed me.
Feed the pig.
Daddy, why is the sky blue?
Well, to match your pretty eyes.
Nope, not even close. See, all colors have wavelengths that are diffused by oxygen and nitrogen. Since blue is the shortest wavelength, it's diffused up to 10 times more.
Who taught you that?
Mommy?
By age 12, too many girls lose interest in math and science and their chance at future jobs. Keep her interest alive.
Know why mathematics is the basis of life as we know it?
You tell me.
It's her future. Do the math.
Welcome back to the morning show. This week we are featuring dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs ruled the earth for over 160 million years, from the Triassic period around 230 million years ago through the Jurassic period and until the Cretaceous period around 65 million years ago.
Dinosaurs had an impressive run. Today our trivia question asks, were dinosaurs the first reptiles to rule the earth, yes or no? And the correct answer is no.
The first reptiles evolved from their amphibian forebears during the late Carboniferous period, over 300 million years ago, while the first true dinosaurs didn't appear until well into the Jurassic period, about 230 million years ago.
In between, the earth was dominated by various families of prehistoric reptiles, including therapsids, pelycosaurs, and archosaurs. The archosaurs eventually split off into pterosaurs, crocodiles, and our dinosaur friends.
While learning about dinosaurs is fun, it's time now for our next segment. Archaeologists study past human life and culture through the recovery and examination of remaining material evidence, using artifacts, inscriptions, and monuments, and other remains that paint a picture of the past. In many cases, that picture tells a story. We have one of those amazing stories from our friends at the Archaeology Channel. This week, they take us all the way to Bahrain to show us how a 200-year-old fort is being recovered.
The news these days from the small countries of the Persian Gulf often relates to Middle East tensions and the oil-based world economy. But the region's deep, colorful, and complex history seldom reaches the front pages. In the 1630s, the Portuguese built fortifications at Bu Mahar Fort in today's small island country of Bahrain, but the historical record is sketchy. A four-cornered fort was there in 1818. The British destroyed this structure in 1868, and the ruins, including a solitary stone tower, became a local sheikh's horse stable. At the request of the Bahrain Ministry of Culture and Information, a team from the British archaeology firm Oxford Brookes Archaeology and Heritage arrived there in early 2010 to find out what remained of the fort beneath the ground.
We're here at Bu Mahar Fort on the island of Muharraq in Bahrain as part of an Oxford Brookes team working on behalf of the Ministry of Culture and Information. We want to dig the fort, we want to establish its dating, its occupation history, and expose as much of it as possible. The view you see here is the surviving and rebuilt remnants of a fort. It's the only surviving wall and tower. The other towers are buried. They were shelled by the British in the 19th century, after which the fort ceased to be used for its original function.
We've been digging trenches on the site now for a couple of days.
And one of the first things that we found on the site is that in the 1970s, a lot of the fort has been rebuilt and reconstructed. And as part of that work, a lot of the ground has been made up around the fort to give the impression of a sort of brand new reconstructed landscape in effect. And as part of that work, some of the older features, the original fort features, have been buried. So what we've been doing today is cleaning up one of the features that we have found, so we can try and date the wall accurately. And the next thing for us to do is to record the earlier structure that we found, so we can start to make a plan of the original fort as it was.
380.
So past few weeks at the fort, I've been recording some of the elevations here, the tower and the curtain wall. We thought might be old, turns out it's 1970s, but and then taking the survey of the whole site with the total station to tie together what all the guys have found while they're digging, and hopefully we can make some interpretations about where other parts of the curtain wall and the towers were, and yeah, should provide an interesting project.
My job is to provide the environmental and landscape context to the fort and to any archaeology we find on the site. And this area is quite important because it's one of the only pieces of virgin coastline in Bahrain, because the rest of the island has been so heavily reclaimed into the sea. And I'll be looking at test pits and drilling holes to have a look at the subsurface stratigraphy and try and understand how the topography has changed, and use that information to put the archaeological information in an environmental context. Excavation is only the start of the process. We need to study the finds. There will be months of work following the excavation. Chaz and his team will have to conduct the analysis of what they've excavated. I will have to study the pottery, do comparative studies. We will have to look at the other finds. We have coins, for example. We will be working on this for quite some time, because excavation is really just the beginning.
We hope that you enjoyed that interesting story from the Archaeology Channel. We'll feature another great story next month here on The Morning Show.
All right, it's time now for this week's lunch menu. This is the menu for Monday, November 10th through Monday, November 17th.
On Monday, November 10th, how will you ever decide between spaghetti with a breadstick or the Chick-fil-A sandwich? Whichever you choose, complement your entree with broccoli, a garden salad, and diced peaches.
Then, on Tuesday, November 11th, enjoy a delicious lunch at home as you celebrate Veterans Day. Be sure to take time to honor those who have served our country.
On Wednesday, November 12th, make your lunch fun with chicken quesadilla or an appetizing pork chop sandwich. To wrap up the meal and add corn, a garden salad, and pineapple chunks.
On Thursday, November 13th, make the day great with an Italian twist of lasagna rolla with a breadstick or a delicious BLT sandwich with cheese cubes. Brown the meal out with sweet potato puffs, garden salad, and yummy fresh fruit.
Then, on Friday, November 14th, chow down on a hot dog with chili or a turkey and cheese hoagie. Side items include macaroni salad, baked beans, carrot sticks, a garden salad, and a spiced apples for dessert.
Finally, on Monday, November 17th, battle your midday hunger with chicken Alfredo with a breadstick, or take your mouth on a trip and enjoy French bread pizza. Don't forget to add garden peas, glazed sweet potatoes, garden salad, and mixed fruit.
And there you have the lunch menu for the week.
Don't forget, you can also start your day off with a healthy and hearty breakfast at school.
In our next segment, we travel to the home of the world's most famous current dinosaur, Nessie, also known as the Loch Ness Monster. Join along as we journey to Scotland in Destination.
Welcome to Scotland, the home of over 790 islands. Once you arrive in Scotland, there are a variety of things to choose from during your visit. You can start by trying to get a glimpse of the notorious Loch Ness Monster. There have been sightings of this creature for hundreds of years, but no one has ever filmed or photographed the creature before. If you're into mysteries, then it has to be the first place you check out once you arrive in this beautiful country. Once you've solved the mystery of the Loch Ness, then spend a little time at the beautiful Eilean Donan Castle. It is the most picturesque of all the Scottish castles, making it a must-see during your trip. Famous for its numerous appearances in TV shows and movies, it can only be reached by the Skye Bridge at Caerleon. Continue your travels past the castle to the Isle of Skye and Old Man Store, the dangerously unbalanced 161-foot sheer rock wall overlooking the sea. Right in the same location as well is Kiltrock's 300-foot waterfall leading to the sea, a sight you don't want to miss. If sports are more your thing, then you might want to stop off at St. Andrews. It was here on these hallowed grounds where the game of golf was born. So you can stop on by and see where this landmark sport was created and play a round or two. Finally, for all the history and movie buffs out there, Stirling is one place that will send your excitement soaring. It is here that the statue of Sir William Wallace stands. Depicted by Mel Gibson in the movie Braveheart, Wallace defeated the English at Stirling Bridge in 1297 and was knighted. So, as you see, there are plenty of reasons to come check out Scotland. No matter what you're into, you'll be able to find something that interests you. From monsters, to pubs, to castles, golf, bagpipes, cliffs, and sea, be sure to visit Scotland and spend time enjoying its beautiful scenery and rich heritage.
For more information on a trip to Scotland, you can visit the site www.visitscotland.com.
And join us next month as we feature another sensational destination.
Now, as we head to a break, we have our Future on Inventors.
This segment was written, produced, and edited by Hoggard High School senior Luke Williams.
This week, we learn all about Edmund Cartwright, inventor of the power loom.
Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Edmund Cartwright, the man who invented the power loom, was born on April 21, 1783 in Nottinghamshire, England. Before his career of inventing, Edmund was a clergyman for a church. He probably would have stayed that way if it wasn't for meeting Sir Richard Arkwright and learning of his cotton spinning mills. Edmund became interested in the mills and worked on ways to improve them in his spare time. In 1785, he invented a crude version of the power loom that could weave threads together to make cloth. He quickly improved it so it could be powered by steam. That same year, he started a weaving and spinning wheel factory and quickly turned a profit. His inventions did not stop there. He also invented the wool combing machine, which lowered manufacturing costs, and the cordelier, which could make rope autonomously. His work with the steam engine also led to a design that successfully used alcohol as fuel instead of water. Unfortunately, Edmund was not well versed in business, and when he built a factory of his own to make more power looms, he went bankrupt. He stayed poor and in debt for years, but thanks to his inventions, England granted him £10,000 to live off of for the rest of his days. Edmund Cartwright had one daughter, Elizabeth, and he died on October 30th, 1823, and will forever be remembered as the inventor of the power loom.
There's a monster in my bathtub. There's one on the couch.
keep innocent things from triggering an asthma attack.
Please make the monsters go away.
Learn how to stop their asthma attacks at noattacks.org.
Edgar Allan Poe led a troubled life plagued by poverty and the loss of the people he loved. Despite his problems, Poe produced a large body of work including short stories, essays, and poems. He died in Baltimore at the age of 40, but his stories and poems live on, read by millions of readers in America and around the world. This background in literature has been brought to you by New Hanover County Schools on the Learning Network of the Cape Fear.
Welcome back to the morning show. I'm Britton Kilborn. Our next segment is College Bound 411. College Bound 411 is dedicated to helping students achieve their dream of attending college. We provide practical and timely information for students so they can compete effectively for college admission. We also clue you in on the latest scholarship information. So get out that pen and paper. Here's this month's edition of College Bound 411.
Welcome to this month's edition of College Bound 411. If you are planning to go to college, then you need to start learning about scholarships. Scholarships are gifts. They don't need to be repaid. You earn them by meeting or exceeding certain standards set by the scholarship giver. Each month, here on College Bound 411, we offer you a list of 3 scholarships which you may be able to apply for. This month, we feature the North Carolina Community College Grant Program. This grant program gives grants to NC residents who show financial need and are enrolled at a community college in North Carolina. In order to receive this, applicants must be enrolled for at least 6 credit hours per semester in a curriculum program and also meet the satisfactory academic progress requirements of the institution. You also must be a North Carolina resident. The value of this grant ranges from $150 to $1,700. For more information, visit www.nccommunitycolleges.edu. Another scholarship available is the North Carolina Hospitality Education Foundation Scholarship. This scholarship is offered to students pursuing an education in hospitality and tourism. There's up to 10 available scholarships, and the scholarships range from $750 to $1,500 in value. To be eligible, you must be a North Carolina resident and plan on going to college for hospitality or culinary arts. Applications are available at the website www.ncrla.org. Our final scholarship is the Crumley Roberts Founders Scholarship. 3 scholarships are awarded to high school students needing financial assistance. To receive this, you must be a high school senior who is going to attend a 4-year university, write a 1,000-word essay on the provided topic, submit 2 letters of recommendation, and you also must have a GPA of 3.2 or higher. In addition, you have to be 18 years of age by September. Each scholarship is worth $2,500. The application can be filled out on crumleyroberts.com. And finally, our College Bound Tip of the Month. Study hard and do your best on your SAT and ACT. Colleges really look for people who have good scores on these, and they may be weighted heavily for admissions. You should prepare these tests by taking practice tests and getting tips from the websites of the ACT and SAT. When the big test day arrives, you should be prepared mentally by relaxing and physically by getting rest the night before. You also shouldn't cram all night. Although not all colleges look for scores on these tests when admitting students, you should do your best. That's College Bound 411 for this month. To help you plan, prepare, and pay for college, check out www.cfnc.org. College Foundation is a free service of the state of North Carolina that helps students plan, apply, and pay for college. CFNC is a partnership of Pathways, the North Carolina State Education Assistance Authority, and College Foundation Incorporated.
If you're college bound, be sure to communicate with counselors and potential colleges so you confirm specific dates for application deadlines, as well as course requirements.
It's time now for more Your School News on the Morning Show. Let's send it back over to our news anchor, July Alexander.
Thank you, Britton and Sierra, and welcome everyone to Your School News here on the Morning Show. Students at Forest Hills Global Elementary learned a little bit about fall recently. They learned that leaves change color, usually to orange and yellow, and then die off. They even learned how to talk about it in Spanish. Forest Hills was the first in the country to add dual immersion program to their curriculum. The students there learned about things in both Spanish and English. For dual immersion class activity, they learned a poem in Spanish. It was 5 stanzas long and included fall terms. They were enlightened with learning fall terms like leaves, colors, brown and yellow, and even umbrella and rain boots. It really opened their eyes to learning about new thing in 2 different ways. Let's take a listen.
Quiere ser tu amigo, otoño llega, marrón y amarillo, otoño.
The kids were impressed with the many unique things that happen during the fall season. They learned the scientific reason of why the leaves fall off. Leaves lose chlorophyll, the green nourishment to leaves, and became dead and dried and then fall off. These facts gave students an understanding to the background of the season of fall. Plus, the bilingual learning activity really made the information stick. In North Carolina, suicide is the second leading cause of death in young people between the ages of 10 and 20. To bring awareness to that fact, students from an area high schools joined the community members for the Opt Out of Darkness Walk in support of suicide prevention and understanding. We get the support from YSN reporter Dylan Grace.
The 2014 Out of the Darkness Suicide Prevention Walk took place at Wrightsville Beach Park. Hundreds of people attended the event to promote the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Teen suicide is one of the largest causes of death in America, with over 4,400 teenagers committing suicide each year. The causes of suicide can vary from each person, from bullying to feeling out of place to overwhelming stress. One of the newest and most prevalent causes of teenage suicide is cyberbullying. Cyberbullying has only existed as long as social media, but has become a huge problem among middle and high schoolers.
There's a lot of cyberbullying associated with homosexuality, but that is the main thing that I noticed right now is because teenagers think they're being sneaky with cyberbullying or that they can't get caught. But that's actually not true at all. The consequences can be really serious.
Individuals can give off signs before they commit suicide, which should be looked for if you think someone you know is considering it. The first are the more obvious ones, such as actually saying, "I'm thinking of committing suicide," or "I want to kill myself," or "I wish I could die." These may sound hard to miss, but it is very easy to take these as a joke. Sudden disinterest in favorite extracurricular activities, giving away or promising people important possessions, and even sudden happiness after a series of depression are all signs of suicidal thoughts.
Our brain is not developed until 25, and one of the last things to kind of click in is our impulse control, impulsivity. Young people have a less sort of, not as much experience with survivable failure, and by survivable failure I'm talking about failing a test, breaking up with a significant other, running out of money to put gas in your car, sort of those things that seem every day to somebody who may be older or with more lived experience, but those can grow and become very serious very quickly.
If you think someone you know is considering suicide, get them medical help immediately. Attempting suicide is a serious medical condition and can be best helped by professionals. Never undermine your child's problems. Take them seriously, and if they come to you for help, help them. Depression, bipolar disorder, and substance abuse can also affect someone physically, causing them to commit suicide. For Your School News, this is Dylan Grace.
Finally, New Hanover County Board of Education is accepting applications for a vacancy in one of 3 positions appointed by the Board of Education to serve on the DC Virgo Urban Preparatory Academy Board. The term of the office is 3 years. Community members interested in being considered should submit a letter of interest and resume to the New Hanover County Board of Education, 6410 Carolina Beach Road, Wilmington, North Carolina, 28412. Attention, Tabitha Adams. The deadline to submit the required documentation is Wednesday, November 19th, 2014. Please include with the letter of interest your reasons of why you aspire to be appointed and the skills you will bring to the office. That's all for now. Watch this week's edition of Your School News online and visit the school system's website at www.nhcs.net and click on the NHCS TV logo on the homepage. Now back over to Britton and Sierra.
Thanks, July. Now to end today's show, Sierra and I will play an exhilarating game created last year for our dinosaur special.
It sounds interesting.
I'm sure it is. Let's send it back over to July, who will explain the rules.
Thank you, Britton and Sierra. I have a great morning show game for you. I Dino-Fi. We are going to test your knowledge of dinosaurs in this fun game. I'm going to show you a picture of a dinosaur and you will have to tell me which one it is. Now, some of these will probably be easy and some will be a little harder. To help you out, I'm going to give you each a list of all the dinosaurs in the game. You will each get 10 dinosaurs to identify and we will rotate back and forth. Here's the twist. If you get yours wrong, then the other person gets a chance to steal by giving the correct answer. If you both get it wrong, I'll give the answer and we'll move on. Okay, contestants, are you ready? Here we are, going to start with Britton. Here we go.
Is this the Protoceratops?
No. Sierra?
Triceratops.
No, I'm sorry. It is the Stegosaurus, which means roofed lizard. All right, Sierra, now it's your turn.
Ooh. Velociraptor.
That is incorrect.
I know this
I
one.
knew that.
It is the pterodactyl.
That is correct.
Wait, what was that?
It's right there.
Pterodactyl.
It's a pterodactyl, which means
it starts with
winged
a P.
lizard. Now, the next one is for you, Britton. Go ahead.
Oh, is this a Triceratops?
That is correct. Triceratops means 3-horned face. Okay, now over to you, Sierra.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
That is correct. It means tyrant lizard. Britton, your turn.
Oh, is this a Velociraptor?
This is a velociraptor. It means swift plunderer.
Can't believe I'm getting all this.
Okay. Now, next.
Brontosaurus.
That is incorrect.
I can seal this, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is this the the Ankylosaurus?
That is incorrect. This is the Apatosaurus, which means deceptive lizard, also known as Brontosaurus. So you were correct. Who said Brontosaurus?
Me?
No.
I did.
She said Brontosaurus, so she is correct.
Oh.
Wait, so, okay.
Wait, so
what was
is it
the answer?
Apatosaurus?
It is the Apatosaurus, but it's also known as the Brontosaurus. So both answers are correct.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Okay, next.
The Trudon?
That is incorrect. Britton?
Diplodocus.
That is also incorrect. It is the Bronchiosaurus, also known as, which stands for the arm lizard. Next one. That is for you, Britton.
Is that the Saltipus?
That is incorrect. Sierra?
Is it the Cynognathus?
That is also incorrect. It is the Spinosaurus, which also means thorn lizard.
That makes sense because it has like that big thing on the back.
Exactly. Okay, next.
Is that a T-Rex?
No.
No, we already did a T-Rex.
Yeah.
That looks like a T-Rex. I guess I got that wrong.
The Ankylosaurus?
That is incorrect. Bryn?
The Giganosaurus.
That is correct. It is the giant lizard of the South.
Good job.
It's really big. Next.
Is this yours?
This is for Britain.
Oh, it's for, okay. The Trudon.
That is incorrect. Sierra?
The Dilophosaurus.
That is also incorrect. It is the Ankylosaurus, which also means fused lizard. Okay, next.
Protoceratops.
That is incorrect.
Is it the
That is also incorrect and not even finishing of the name. This is the Troodon, which means wounding tooth. Okay, next.
Oh, is this the Dilophosaurus?
That is incorrect.
It's incorrect.
The Protoceratops.
That is correct. It means first horned face.
I watched a movie and I knew that.
Next.
The Micropachythalophosaurus.
No.
Is it the Coleophysis?
That is also incorrect. This is the Orthoomenimus, which also means bird mimic. Okay, next.
Is this the Dilophosaurus?
No.
The Saltopus.
That is also incorrect. This is the Chronosaurus, which means Charon's lizard.
I'm very bad at this.
Next.
Ooh, the Saltopus.
That is incorrect.
What?
Is it the Micropyranona?
That is also incorrect. It is the Dipicalus, which also means double stalk.
It just looked like it would be in the ocean.
Next one.
Is this mine or yours?
It's yours.
Oh. Is this the Saltopus?
No.
Dilophosaurus.
That is also incorrect. This is the Cynognathus, which also means jogthaw. Dog jaw. I apologize. Yeah. Next.
The Dilophosaurus.
That is correct, which means two-crested lizard. Next question.
Oh, is this the one?
That is incorrect.
Darn it.
The Coelophus.
That is correct. It also means hollow form.
Where's that at?
The top. Right there.
Okay, next question.
It's yours.
Oh, is it the Saltopus?
That is correct. It also means jumping foot. And the final question?
Now it's the micro one.
Micropachycelosaurus. It is a small-headed, thick lizard. Small, thick-headed lizard. And our winner is Sierra. Good game to both of you. I hope everyone at home also enjoyed DinoFi.
Good game, Sierra.
You too, Britton.
Well, that does it for this edition of the Morning Show. Remember, for the best TV of all, each and every day, keep it tuned in right here for the New Hanover County Schools TV on the Learning Network of the Cape Fear.
Have a great day.
And a wonderful week.